And welcome back to the Kyle Suchland Show. Thank you guys. Hopefully everyone had a fantastic week after last week. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot of news, the golf world, little Zurich Classic breakdown. We'll talk a little Chevron LPGA Championship today. We have our, geez, I am so dumb today. Sorry, hold on. Let me pull this up. We'll talk a little NFL draft today, what the Bears did. We'll talk a little Cubbies hot streak, and we will talk a little F1. So we have a lot, and then we will do our Crumb Bum of the week and our movie of the week. So we have a lot to get to today. We'll be moving right along through all of these, and let's do it. But first, hit the music. All right, welcome back. Hopefully everyone first shout out what hopefully soon to be sponsor maybe. Tag them if you guys like them. Owens Mixers, fantastic transfusion mix. Absolutely, just add vodka, little grape juice, ginger ale. If you have not had a transfusion, absolutely fantastic. I would highly recommend Owens for that. All right, so starting off number one, and where do we want to start today, people? I feel like we want to start. We'll get to the Zurich. Let's start with LPGA. So, congratulations, Nelly Korda. If you guys were not aware, the Chevron Championship is the first major of the LPGA season. Hand up, not super dialed in to the LPGA, but I do at least. I'm aware when the majors are. Shout out to my friends at No Laying Up, releasing great podcasts. We're really talking about that. So great week for Nelly. Nelly had tied the Chevron Championship 36-hole lead after shooting back-to-back 65s on Thursday and Friday. Takes that lead and then shoots a 70 on Saturday. Takes a 4-shot lead going into the final round today. And Nelly shoots another 70 and gets another major under her belt. So big shout out, Nelly Korda. Congratulations on winning the Chevron Championship. A lot of back and forth what I'm seeing on Twitter, kind of about the LPGAs. It's about the Chevron, really. A lot of negative, which, to be fair, a lot of negativity around the coverage, which I think is very fair. And even hand up, I will agree with a lot of this because it's bad. The coverage did not have them starting, did not show the leaders, Nelly, the leader. The coverage had, I think, they missed an hour and 20 minutes from when they teed off until there was a streaming option to even watch it. It's 2026. If I'm on YouTube and you're able to watch this program, why is Nelly Korda and the LPGA, they're not anywhere to be found? Put it on effing YouTube. Just put on a camera, take a phone, put it on frickin' YouTube. I don't know how hard it is. How boneheaded we have to be. There's media, but just, there's literally, Nelly's one of the best golfers in the world right now, and you cannot watch her play in a major? Are we serious? Like, what are we doing? And also, it makes the LPGA of people that are trying to watch it and give it a chance and fans for it. People talking up, and it's great golf, right? These women golfers are absolutely fantastic. It's a great to watch, especially when they're playing some of the similar courses to the men, you see really that it's like, man, they can spin these balls. Maybe they don't have some of the same distance to hit these par fives, but man, they can play some freaking golf. And that's great, and everyone should be on the more of the LPGA side of that. But the fact that it's not on TV is what's absolutely banana land to me. You should be, if we're in 2026, and it's a major. It's not like we're playing some bullshit tournament. You're going to be able to watch my fucking round of playing golf today. You couldn't watch Nelly play her first half of 4 or 5 holes today. Crazy. So LPGA, fix your shit. I know you guys have new leadership over there, but let people watch golf. And if you don't have sponsors to sell it or don't have anywhere, put it on YouTube. There's this awesome thing called YouTube. Throw it up there. Stream it on your website. Guess what? People are going to watch because at the end of the day, who gives a fucking shit about the sponsors if nobody's watching? Right? Sponsors are cool, but if you have nobody watching your thing, I don't think the sponsors are going to give a shit about anyways. So cool that you have all these sponsorships and you got to have it, but build fans. Do things for the fans that they give a shit about. And I would imagine having it on TV, on coverage, is the main deal to building fans. So we will be possibly getting back to the LPGA at a later point in the show. If you know the show, you know what award they're probably going to win this week because you can't have Nelly Korda playing golf for 5 to 9 holes and it not being shown. Insane. But congratulations. Shout out Nelly Korda. Great major winner. I don't know how many majors she has. I feel like it was 4 or 5. But fantastic job by her. She's really setting herself as this generations of American golfer, and would love to see. I don't think she already has multiple majors under her belt and Olympic gold, and I'm very interested to see her career keeps on going. Let's move on to my PGA Tour. So the boys were down this week in New Orleans. New Orleans. TPC New Orleans? They were down in New Orleans at TPC Louisiana. I'm sorry about that. And like we said this last week. This is the Zurich Classic is the only team event on the tour. It kind of is similar to the Ryder Cup where they do four ball the first day and then best ball the last day. Not the best ball you're thinking of a scramble when I just said that. I know you're all out there. Best ball is when you have 2 players, you both play the hole. Whoever the best score is wins. That's best ball on the PGA Tour. People very often get scramble and best ball confused. So shout out. They did not play a scramble. That would be very cool. I would love to see what they would do in a scramble. And did they do a scramble on Thursday and Friday? How did they do it on Thursday and Friday? Or did they do 4-ball? I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to be fully honest with you guys. I didn't watch a ton of this. I watched a little bit on Thursday and was confused. And then I played golf Thursday all day. I played golf on Friday. I didn't watch it a ton on Saturday, and then I played golf all day today. So, big weekend of golf, and not a big mega tournament, so kind of followed it on the app and was watching a lot of the stuff, but did not consume as much golf as I have in the last weeks, and I think I needed kind of a break, to be full as honest. I watched a lot of Masters, I watched a lot of RBC. It was nice to have a little week off of this week with the Zurich Classic and not having major stakes, knowing great round. So big ups, congrats to Alex and Matthew Fitzpatrick. Fantastic win by the brothers. I mean, I can't imagine something cooler than winning a PGA golf tournament with your brother with you. And then you being a major championship, and then you winning it with your brother playing with you, And then what is even cooler is that what gets him going from this. So great, you won a PGA tournament, you get a lot of money, awesome. But now this does for Alex's career is huge. He's been playing on the DP World Tour, which is kind of like the Asian European PGA Tour. Now he's won on this year, so he's not some loser that's just he pulled out nothing. He's won the DP World Tour event this year. But this now gets him into all the elevated events for the rest of the PGA Tour season. This gets into the rest of the majors for the PGA Tour season. So massive by him. Now it opens the door for him, right? It takes him so that he kind of was going to have to win a couple times, maybe get his tour card, play his way into elevated events after that. This gets him right into the door, and next week he's going to be playing. There's no cut next week, so he's making money no matter what. If you have a brother, I don't know what would be cooler, especially a little brother, right, growing up, and you guys are interested in the same thing. You love the same thing. You guys are both golfers. You're going to the course together, and knowing that you can have that on your line where maybe Matthew's been a little bit better, right? Major winner. According to Birdie to Bogey's power rankings, third best golfer in the world right now. And he said, hey, I'm treating this week like a major because I know what it means to my brother. It honestly brings a little bit of tear to my eye. And it's a fantastic story. They can make a freaking movie about this because it's amazing for Alex Fitzpatrick and the family. I can't imagine how proud his parents are of both of them. Alex played no slouch this week either. I think he made 10 of the birdies, so Alex had a great week. Congratulations to him. But massive things for both of their careers going forwards. I think that's going to do huge things. I'm very interested to see how how Alex does the rest of this year. I imagine it's going to be a little bit hard, but if he, backdoors into one top 10, top 15, I think that's, millions of dollars. And has a chance to climb up in the world of rankings to even get now just have his PGA Tour card. He has his tour card for the next 2.5 years. So it's stability. It's knowing where he's going to be. I would imagine they're going to be traveling together. I can't imagine that if you're renting houses and doing stuff and you have private jets, your brother's not going to be with you in some of that stuff. So I imagine it's going to be a little bit helpful for both of them. When you're on the middle of nowhere in Louisiana, or they're next week when they're they are in Miami, right? You have someone to go out with, have dinner with, someone that you trust 1,000,000% also. If your wife's if your wife's aren't there, having your brother with you playing on the same events as you, maybe that's out there earlier, give you some, hey, watch out for this, right? Because you're gonna have no one, you're not gonna have that relationship with anyone else on the PGA Tour. I would imagine the brothers are gonna be looking out for each other out there, and so it's very cool to see that relationship. Seems like they're very close. And Matt playing with this and his brother the last couple of years, what they showed in full swing. They showed how much he cared about this. So huge ups. Big win of the week. We're a negative show, so we don't give positive awards on the show. But if we give a positive award of the week, Kyle's high five of the week would be to Matthew Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick for winning this tournament. Awesome win by them. I'm very excited to see what they do next. Cheers. So let's see how we did this week. Oh, we did pretty freaking well, people. So picks wise. So also before we get to the picks really quick, I did want to mention Matthew Fitzpatrick's shot in 18. They had absolutely fantastic bunker shot in 18. They struggled a little bit, made double, I think on 11 or 12. And then coming in, they had they were at 30 for the tie of the tournament, essentially tied with two other teams at 30. and made a fantastic bunker shot, put it to, I think, a foot, and then Alex put it in, tapped it in. So great shot. That was the shot of the absolute tournament by Fitzpatrick right there. How do we do this week? I am very, very happy to report for the first time on this podcast, people, we have correctly predicted the winner of this podcast, okay? Win, okay? Boom, take it to the bank. I gave you the winner last week. You cashed it in. I don't know what it was because it wasn't on the page yet, and I forgot to put it on there, but cash that ticket. Great win. Shout out, Kyle. You're welcome. Top 5 for Shannon Lowry. Hand up. Not great. They got cut. Not great. Fuck them. Top 10 Novak Griffin, which were the defending champions. Come on, boys. Top 10. Top 10. Nice job, boys. Nice job. And that's a win. We got Ryan Thigala to make the cut. Top 24. And we have Mitchell and top 30. So we won both of those. So we had a great week, people. We had an absolutely fantastic week. Best gambling week of the entire podcast. We went 1, 2, 3, 4-1 this week. We are in fuego right now. That brings our winning percentage on the podcast to 66.67%. We have been picking winners right here. So we're on a hot streak, so stand by. I have my picks for the Cadillac Championship. They're not crazy. It's a elevated event. I think there's going to be cold people, but stand by because I think we are just shooting winners out of a cannon. Bah, 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 bah. And we're shooting to Winterland. Welcome, people. I hope you guys are riding along. I am placing $2 bets on, and we will eventually make millions on this. So shout out. Great, good gambling week for golf. And let's move on to the Cadillac. So, Cadillac Championship. First time we have a new event on the PGA Tour schedule for this year. Not a new location. We are headed back to Trump Doral. So it is new sponsor. They were played to Live. They hosted Live last year. I think the PGA Tour dropped them due to some Trump issues. But we are back at the Blue Monster. So been a couple times. They hosted up until 2016. I don't know what happened with Trump in 2016. We'll have to get the producers on that to feel what happened there. This is a golf show. And this week, Scotty Scheffler heads back in the field. Rory is not in the field this week. We are back at this. The Cadillac is the title sponsor. Big $20 million purse out at here. Now the issue with it's a little weird. There are a couple guys that have dropped out of the field, right? So Rory McIlroy is not playing. Second start after the Masters that he missed. I mean, I think everyone was not surprised him skipping out the RBC the week after the Masters. A little surprised here, and I mean, I don't know if he's very heavily pulling the car all on into this major kind of thing that he did. Was saying, "Hey, find me. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna just go get ready for a Ramanek. I'll be in Philly for the next 3 weeks, just going out there doing day trips." I don't know if that's what he's like, or if this is just he's not playing this. He has a problem with. He doesn't like this field. I don't know. I don't know. I can honestly, I can't hate Rory just being a Masters or a major merchant at this point if that's what he wants to do. And if he's saying, hey, I don't really give a shit about some of these elevated events, these $20 million, find me $20 million, I'll pay you that. I want to win majors. I'm at 6 of them right now, and I would like to get to 7, and I would like to get to 8 this year. And so I think if he's saying this year, I don't give a shit about some of these other events. I'll play Memorial. I'll play some of these other major ones. I'll play the Players. But besides that, I'm kind of fuck you guys. I can see that. So, also shout out Cadillac's return. So Cadillac returning partner as a title sponsor. I don't think it's at all a coincidence that they have also now joined the F1 circuit. Now this is where you are getting the two things of this podcast, golf and F1. So this is where there's not many shows that will be able to give you this. But you're getting now, Cadillac, I'm sure, is trying to make a splash where, they're now into the F1 world. And F1, as we'll talk about in a little bit, is also in Miami this weekend. So both of them being this sort of big weekend for Cadillac coming up with the title sponsor of the PGA Tour event and racing the first United States race of the season, and then being obviously a big, that's the largest USA team. So very interesting week for Cadillac. Excited to see them. I'm sure there will be a lot going on with the Cadillac and activations this week down in Miami, because there just is a shit ton going on for them this week. So, like I said, Liv was at Doral, I think, for 4 years of hosting Liv Golf. I think the Crushers won there, maybe Crushers won there last year. Who gives a shit? And now they're back with the PGA Tour. So it's a new era for them. Last winner was Adam Scott. Was won in 2016. Now he's in this field. Now this is, again, we are in a no cut field here, so there is no one. We're not losing any people, which is this new this new thing of the PGA Tour and the elevated events. We do have a couple people that have just kind of skipped. Obviously, we talked about Rory opted out after the Masters victory, which is now maybe opting off for the PGA Championship preview. Xander Schauffele skipping, Ludwig Oldberger skipping, Matthew Fitzpatrick. I don't know if he was pre-skipping or after this week. He just said, but he's been playing a shit ton of golf. And then Big Bob, Robin McIntyre is also skipping this week. So those are all in the top 20 players that are saying, I'm out this week. They're all in Kyle's big board as power rankings. So that's a lot of power rankings that are not playing this week, right? Let's just check off that are out of the field this week. Rory not in the field. We got no Fitzpatrick, no Xander, no Ludwig. So we got a lot of guys that are not. I got 5 guys in my top 15 that are not in this field. So I think my picks will very much reflect that, because I think it's going to be a one-man show this week. And I'm excited to see Scheffler just absolutely light this course on fire. So let's get to it then. Picks for the Cadillac Championship at Trump Doral. Who am I thinking? Who's in this little ruminating around this little tiny brain of mine? I know that's what you guys all want to know. Who is gonna win this week? And I'm here to tell you, take Scotty Scheffler. Take Scotty Scheffler to the bank. Okay? He looked good at the RPC. He looked good at the Masters. I think Scotty was looking for it, and I think with the second kid, I would imagine, there was a little bit of needing to kind of come back around. Scotty's come back around, and he is playing golf. And I would love Scotty this week. I did tell you to take your mortgage out on the house, so there's probably some people that are homeless because of me, and I hand up, that's on me. So maybe don't take a mortgage out, but sell your car. Sell your car this week and bet on Scotty Scheffler to win the Cadillac Championship. You're welcome. Top 5. We were going to take Fitzy, but he's not going to be in the field this week. I think a top 5, easy top 5, is now Cam Young. I mean, we're going to look at Kyle's big board right over here. Number 4th golfer in my power rankings right now in the world. Let's go. So Cam Young, top 5. And then top 10 finish is J Rose. So I don't think we're doing anything crazy here, people. Let's move on to F1. So F1 is back, which feels after forever. It feels like I haven't watched an F1 race in a minute. And we are on to Miami. So first race, it's not at like 1 a.m. Also, this will be racing at very normal times. It's very weird to look at the F1 schedule because usually you're looking at what time it is, and it's like you gotta click on your they're actually racing. And right now it's like it's an hour difference. It's great. So it's like the race is on at like 5 o'clock. It's great. I don't have to stay up till the middle of the night watching F1. I can watch in the middle of the day now. So that is fantastic. Very excited to see F1 on at a very normal time of the day. And it's been a while, right? So this is the first race. We were supposed to, in this break after Japan, we were supposed to be in Bahrain. We were supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. Both of those were canceled due to the war. So this is the first time in 5 weeks that we have a race scheduled. So it's been a while. So excited to see. I think there's been a lot of regulations I talked about the last time is lock Lando and Oscar in a simulator until this week. So I'm excited to give them the keys, McLaren to give them the keys and kick them out and let the boys get out of that. And we are on to Miami. Let the boys go. I'm excited to see the strides McLaren's made. My McLaren boys have made after this kind of 5-week break. And I think we have good things ahead of this week. I think I'm very, very excited to see one. Excited to see a race at a normal time that I'm not half asleep for. And I think that there was a lot of testing that needed to be done coming into after this season. And I think that is now they've been a full on 5 weeks to do a lot of testing. And all these drivers got a lot of very comfortable with the new regulations, and hopeful that they've made some mega strides coming into them. And this should be a very cool race. So this is a sprint weekend, so we have one practice that is on May 1st. I think that is Friday. Wednesday. So we have one. Oh no. So we have one practice on Friday. Sprint, the qualifying for that sprint is later on that Friday night. We have the sprint on Saturday and then qualifying Saturday night and then race on Sunday. So great weekend. As being an early fan, I would say I love this sprint racing so far. I think the practices have been like, it's okay to watch practicing. I love you watching that. You get like a sprint qualifying, which is very fun to watch. You get the sprint that was fun to watch. You get the qualifying that's also then fun to watch, and then you have the race. So I love the sprint weekends. I think it makes it a much more fun weekend of race watching. So excited to see that. So tune in. I think Apple TV has it all this weekend, and this is the first time you don't have to stay up till the middle of the night to watch a Grand Prix. So on to my picks for F1 this week. Hold on, let's move on to F1. I had to move on this page, this thing in a minute. So let's say podium. Let's say fucking Lando, people. Let's go little Lando. Let's go Lando. Podium, Lando effing Norris. Come on, brother. Slow start to the season. Lando's plus 850 to win. Let's see a win, Lando. Podium. I'm just gonna say the boys have figured it out. Okay. We're gonna have a McLaren podium, and that's at 125 for Oscar to be on the podium. I don't hate that. And then someone that I think hopefully figured it out, if he has not figured it out in these last couple of weeks, the cars might just be screwed and he might be leaving the sport. Max Verstappen at top 10 minus 600. Love Max this week to finish the top 10. So It should be a great week in Miami. From what I've seen online, the track is very cool. It's all around the Miami Dolphins Stadium, kind of runs around it. So a very cool outline of that. And I think some of the paddock stuff is actually inside the stadium. People can go and watch it and stuff. So very cool week for that. Would love to go down there in Miami, but I'm poor. So, it is what it is. Maybe next year when we're making some money on this podcast, we can start going to some of these races because that sounds quite fun. We are moving right along with this podcast, people. We are moving right along. How are we doing on timage here? 37 minutes. We are right on time. I think it's fully done that this is ever going to be a 30-minute podcast. I think that's done. I don't think that's possible. I think we are a long podcast kind of people. It's going to be 50. We're going for 50 minutes. We're keeping under an hour. So that's the goal. Cheers. So let's go a little bit on Bears. So I think I talked a little bit about last week. It was absolutely fantastic not to have to be dialed in on the NFL draft. It was awesome knowing that we have our franchise QB in the wing. That doesn't matter if we trade up 5 million spots. We don't need a QB. Doesn't matter. We need to build around him, right? Shout out Brandon Walker. He said something very, very, very smart on the F1 show, on the Fox Sports show. Not a lot like Brandon. But he talked a lot about how people are drafting offensive line to help protect the quarterback. They're drafting defensive line to go after the quarterback. Having a good quarterback is so, so, so important because it makes so many of those things condense down into a smaller element where if you have that quarterback, you're grabbing people to protect him. If you have some of these guys we've had, you don't need to protect some of these guys we have, okay? Get a quarterback, right? We don't need to get guys to protect him. We don't need big tight ends that can block, that Caleb can throw little out routes to when plays break down, right? We do now, so we're in a different spot, and I love that, right? So I've got past the point of passing judgment on who some of the guys we pick because we have found some absolute, I think you'd call them diamonds in the rough. Monungai is an absolute diamond that they pulled. So some of these guys in the 5th and 6th round could be some of our best players next year. I don't know. I'm not passing judgment, right? I think I trust Ryan Poles. I trust Ben Johnson. And I think they know what they're doing, and they have a future. They have an idea for this team, and I'm more than excited to see where they take that. So we got Dylan Thiemann, safety from Oregon in the 1st round. We got a center from Iowa the 2nd round, Logan Johnson. Got a tight end from Stanford, Sam Roush in the 3rd round. Wide receiver, Zavon Thomas in the 3rd round again. Malik Muhammad, cornerback, Texas. So I think we traded up for. I think people were hot on that. I think people were saying he should have gone round 3, and we kind of got left off the board. So I think we got a good snag there. Keyshawn Elliott from Arizona State. No idea. And then Jordan Vanderberg. Maybe that might be true. From defensive tackle. So I'm hoping I think people said that was a great pick by the Bears. I don't really know how that's going to end up looking in the long run. Hoping some of these guys would have liked to see, we went offense for the first 4 picks of the draft. We went defense the first pick of the draft, and then went offense 3 picks, and then defense 3 picks. So each side kind of got their love. We're kind of past the point of picking best available, which is awesome. We need people that are going to start next year. We don't really need the best available. We don't need someone that's going to be sit for 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years. Now Logan Jones might very well sit, right? We have center signed for a year. We're trying to fill that hole, and so he may sit, right? But I think some of these guys are going to be. I would expect a safety we drafted to be playing day 1 and be making contributions. Same thing with the tight end, in for blocking assignments. Especially I know let's talk about how much Ben loves to run the 3 tight end sets, using 2 blockers, and using some of his, especially in some of his run packages. and kind of loves getting those big boys on the field. So can't hate them taking another big tight end that's going to be used in the passing and blocking and just overall strategy game. And so excited to see where that kind of lands. But kind of that's draft. So we kind of next thing is we have schedule release, and then we're kind of into the training camp will be after that. We're gonna kind of starting end of July here. So I think this is kind of the biggest break from the NFL season is post draft. Obviously we had we had a good break at post Super Bowl, kind of into the draft. But I think after the draft, I think is when it really kind of starts to slow down a little bit. Until we have some schedule releases and then until OTAs pick up in the summer sometime. So kind of we're entering the slow part of football here, but we will be right back into it. So as much as you guys have, if you guys are new to this show, oh, Kyle never talks about football. This isn't a football show. Let me tell you guys, this is usually this come August, this winter, this will be a football show. I will be sitting at this desk watching Sunday Night Football, waiting for this podcast to end to record this show, okay? So this will be a football show coming in the winter and the fall. But I think we started the show, the NFC Championship was the first week we started the show. So we talked a little Super Bowl. Bears weren't even in it. I think I talked a little about that, the playoffs, but we will be plenty of football time come football season. But we're not in football right now. Where we are in right now is MLB season. And my boys in the blue, my Cubbies right now are playing some freaking baseball, my friends. We're playing some baseball. Before yesterday, winners of 10 in a row. Had a hot en fuego week. So in Fuego week, just a great week from the boys. And then we played the Dodgers. And a lot of people, you can play the Dodgers and you get your shit kicked in. I think that's unfortunately what's going to lead to a lockout of this season is this team right here, how good they are. But overall, not a great game by Shoga today. Would have liked to see him more. I'd like to see him pitch a little bit better today. Let up a couple early home runs. But overall, can't be not mad. Right now we are tied for second place in the division. The absolute best division in baseball right now. I think that Water will find its level with some of these teams. But right now everybody's at 500 and everyone's 2 games at 500. Not everyone's just around at 500. Everyone's playing good ball. And you have this, right, in this new kind of MLB where you're not playing your division 5 million times. You might get a division that's, as before some of these divisional games are playing a shit ton of them, you might have got a whole division that's awesome. Like I said, I think Water's going to find its level with some of these teams, probably due to injury, just from hot starts. I think there will be some of these, but I don't know who, right? I mean, the Reds are playing out of their mind right now. We obviously have a championship roster built. The Cardinals are playing good ball. The Pirates are playing good ball. The Brewers have been a perennial contender the last decade, it seems like. So I don't know who. And, the Brewers have started, I think, historically a little slower in the last couple of years and kind of picked it up too. So the NL Central, as Emperor Palpatine would say, the NL Central is strong. So let's see how that goes. Weird story this week if you're not following baseball. Red Sox are 11-17. A lot of people talking about how bad they are right now. Just fired the entire coaching staff. Alex Cora, all of his people, everyone that I think has had lunch with Alex Cora before. They said, peace, get the fuck out. And they just fired everyone earlier this week. So very odd move by the Red Sox. Usual contender, not used to struggling. Slow start to the season. But that seemed a little weird. So we'll see what kind of comes out of that the next couple weeks. We'll see if that was just a purely baseball standpoint of how they were doing, and there wasn't something else going on in the clubhouse. But very weird for this early in this season for an entire staff to be dismissed. You would really think they would give them at least a little bit more than 20, 30 games of this season, right? It's such a long season. But I don't know. Not a Red Sox fan. Not a big watcher of the Red Sox. Maybe they've been playing shit baseball. That's what they get when you play shit baseball. So we will see. We shall very much see what happens. So moving to our... Let's do a movie of the week. So, movie of the week. So last week I brought to you guys, if you haven't seen the movie Too Fast, Too Furious, throwback, right? I brought you guys a throwback movie, okay? I have been absolutely hammering the movies this week, and I have now finished the entire franchise as I edit all my videos / watch movies till 2 o'clock in the morning every day. I have finished the Fast franchise, okay? I do not remember Fast 9. I know I never saw Fast X. I feel like I somehow remember parts of Fast 9. Maybe I watched it and fell asleep during it. But I remember everything of Fast 8. So I think Fast 8 is where I kind of maybe fell off. Fast 9 was okay. Fast X was a good movie. I'm gonna say I can't say everything was good. I got to get out of that. It was a mid movie. It wasn't bad, I would say. Jason Momoa has played one of the better villains since Deckard Shaw, which was Jason Statham's character. Jason Momoa played a great insane person. You were literally like, this guy is insane. If you watch the movie, you will know the parts you're like, this guy is insane. There's one part, if you've seen Fast X, you'll be like, wow, that guy's insane. And it's that part right there. But I will recommend Fast X if you are a fan of the franchise like me, and like the franchise from the nostalgic purposes. They are way past where we started Too Fast, Too Furious, where we're racing over like sandwiches and we're mad at people from ordering tuna fish sandwiches. We are way past that. We are essentially an arm of the government, a hit arm of an illegal government organization that they are part of, that they ran, that they pulled jobs for. We have lost the plot on who they were. They are now federal agents / military members, I think. I don't know. They're the vehicular warfare element of the United States government, I think, at this point, in Fast X. I don't really think there's another way to quantify it besides that they are just the United States military. The Fast 11 is they are legitimately members of the military, and they are not allowed to use guns. They're only allowed to use cars, and they're just they're doing vehicular warfare in Fast 11. So, good movie, very a good kind of like, honestly, probably one of the biggest like what do they call it? What are the ending called when it's hook ending? No, it's not called a hook ending. Suspense ending? No. Climax? No. We got to figure this out, people. We have to figure this out. It had an ending. What was it ending called when it's a surprise? It has hooks. Come on, Kyle. You can do this, buddy. Come on. Think. It is, cliffhanger. Thank you. Cliffhanger, people. Thank you to the internet. So, also in Fast X, they left a massive cliffhanger at the end. I think Dom's going to beat Hoover Dam, I think, in the Fast 11. Jason Momoa, I think, is literally about to like collapse Hoover, or maybe not Hoover Dam, but a dam on him. There's the physics in this movie has got a little crazy. We have thrown physics out the window. I think whatever the Fast universe lives in, physics do not exist like the laws of physics in this universe. So as long as you're okay with that, as long as you're okay with saying, hey, I understand that there's laws of physics, they don't exist in this universe, okay? If you're watching the movies, throw physics right out the window, because these movies make a lot more sense if you do it that way, okay? But if I don't know how they're gonna, this cliffhanger they left on there, Dom's gonna has to die. I don't know how he doesn't die. So we'll see what happens. I think the team spoiler, if you don't want a spoiler, okay, stop right here if you don't want spoilers. I'm going to give fair warning. I am about to give a spoiler for Fast X. But it pretty much ends with Jason Momoa blowing up a waterfall, and Dom Toretto is sitting right there watching, like waiting for the waterfall to blow up right at him. And it's like, buddy, how are you going to get the fuck out of this? And it's like, I don't fucking know. So I have no idea how that's about to go. So we will find out. We will find that out. Maybe if they ever come out with Fast 11, I think 2028. And then the team is like in a plane crash. Now they crash off screen. You're going to suspect that the entire team did not die in this plane crash. But maybe someone did. Maybe someone didn't sign the contract if the next movie did. But I'm going to give Fast X a 7.5 out of 10. Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. Not a good movie. Not a great movie. Right? I'm going to say 9 over is a great movie. 8 to 9 is a good movie. 9 to 10 is an amazing movie. 8 to 9 is a great movie. 7 to 10 is a good movie, right? And I would say Fast X was a good movie. Held multiple times as I edit. I would think usually my barrier for what makes a good movie is if I'm editing and as I'm editing, I get like, and that happened on multiple things. I think The Rip, which is a Netflix movie that happened on. That was another great one where it was like you're sitting there watching it, and you're like, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be editing at like 1 o'clock in the morning still. I'm editing this podcast right now, and though the movie I put on the night, maybe that movie will be like, holy shit, what a movie too. But you don't often get the movies that are like pull you away for the entire time. This one definitely didn't do that. But there was times that I could not take my eyes off the screen in Fast X. So I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely something to watch, not something to run to watch. I would not buy it. I rented it for like $2.99 on Apple TV. So maybe don't run to buy the movie. But if you can find it on the floor in the library, if you could rent it somewhere for not a bunch of money, give it a watch, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. And then moving on to our Crumb Bum. Crumb Bum. And remember, if you're new to the podcast, Crumb Bum is like, it's I think 60s or 70s old school slang for malfeasance. Someone that just doesn't, someone's lackadaisical, someone that's lazy, someone that's kind of a buffoon is a Crumb Bum, okay? I think there's more serious things of saying that they're like a loser, they're a thief. We don't take it that far. Crumb Bum is just someone that needs to pull their head out of their ass, okay? Essentially what the Crumb Bum is in my eyes. And we have a very, very, very easy Crumb Bum this week. Actually, not easy. I thought about this for a little bit. I wanted to give Crumb Bum to a couple people. I wanted to give Crumb Bum... I kind of want, after how Sugar pitched today, but he does not. Anyone of the Cubs do not deserve a Crumb Bum yet. No one's playing that bad. No one on the Bears deserves a Crumb Bum this week. I don't really think there's any golfers that deserve a Crumb Bum this week, but what does deserve the Crumb Bum is the LPGA coverage this week. Like I said earlier, Nelly Korda is an absolute superstar of the game, and a lot of people love to talk about how they want to grow the game, how the women's game, it's on the same level of the men's, how important it is. And I fully agree that it's that product, that sport of the correlation between men and women's golf is not as far as it is between men and women's football, or let's say men and women's hockey, right? Where you're going to have a lot different of product. The product overall of men, the LPGA and the PGA Tour is not a ton different that you're going to get on a daily basis, right? You're losing some of those massive drives, but some of these women now are absolutely piping the golf ball compared to what some of these other their competitors are doing, right? So they're hitting it. And the average player is now hitting it like some of the senior members are. So it's not that different of golf. And so we're talking about having this on this putting this on a pedestal because it should be. But for so long, we've taken the women's game and have not allowed them to play Augusta, right? Shit like that we need to step in the 21st century. And not showing one of the greatest golfers coverage for 2 hours of their thing is a crumb bummable offense. Because, like I said, the amount of ways that you can stream something nowadays in 2026, put it on your website, right? Put a freaking logo, whatever your sponsors are, put a sponsorship logo on the bottom of the thing and put that on there, right? If there's a sponsorship issue. If CBS and NBC don't want to take it till 2 o'clock, cool, it's on YouTube before that. And the fact that someone's not saying that is there is someone dumb in a room that's like, okay, we're just going to agree to this media rights. It's like, no. Yeah, you probably saw a big number on the fucking page, and you don't give a shit about the fans. You don't give a shit about the people that are trying to grow the game of LPGA and I'm not going to claim that I'm a person that's trying to grow the game of LPGA golf. But I would say I'm someone that gives a shit about golf enough that I will definitely watch a major championship. No matter who's playing, I'll watch a major championship, right? Anyway, now I'm not going to say I'm going to watch it all day wrong, right? I'm not tuned in on Thursday, right? But I definitely paid attention on Twitter. I definitely knew Nelly had this big lead coming into the day. So the fact that they can't even show it, I think is not helping grow the game at all. I think is in fact hurting the game because it's making it seem like it's a forgotten product. Like it's an afterthought. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. The women's game is in a fantastic spot right now, and it definitely deserves its own at least showing the leaders showing off on the first hole and not coming on to 5 holes in of a leader in a major championship. That's insane. I think we freak out in the men's game when you don't get to see the leaders like warm up, and the LPGA needs to be held to a higher standard if they say that's what they want the women's game to grow. If they don't want it to grow, that's fine. Then they need to stop talking about that because that is not helping grow the game at all. You're helping actively lose fans of the game. So those are my thoughts for the week. Anything else around here? No. Yeah. Oh, Kyle's power rankings. Birdie to bogey power rankings of the week, right? These won't change. These may change after the Cadillac next week after, one of these guys jumps up. I can't imagine the top 3 changing, especially with Fitzy not being in the field. Even if Cam pulls it off, he may jump Fitzy this week. He's out with him having 2 for the year, players and an elevated. But some of these other guys, obviously, I don't think Rory and Scotty are moving a whole ton. I think Rory's going to get at least, and he's going to have, someone else is going to have to win a major for him to knock him off the top spot. I know Scotty's technically ranked higher than him right now, but for my birdie bogey rankings, you win the Masters, you're the best golfer right now. Everyone wants to win right now. Everyone showed up at Augusta National on Thursday morning, wanted to win the tournament. Rory did. And that, for him, for my reasons, puts him at number 1. So we shall see on the rest of them. But everyone, thank you guys for watching this week. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I very much appreciate anyone that watches these podcasts. This is episode 20, which is crazy to imagine that it's 20 episodes in, and where we started and how little and how dumb I was on the first 20 episodes ago, and how much more organized and how much better I think I am at this now is absolutely insane after just 20 short episodes. And I'm very excited to see where we are after episode 40 and another 20. Thank you everyone that has helped us get to this spot. And we are on the road. So episode 21 will be next week. We will break down the Cadillac Championship. We'll break down some F1. We'll talk about how the Cubbies did. And we are into our summer shows. So this will kind of be the thing of the summer. I'm hoping that we can do more summer shows from golf courses. And when it's nice enough, when it's 80 degrees days, I would love to record this podcast from whatever golf course I play that day. And I'll record it right afterwards. Write it from there. That is the intended goal eventually. But hopefully, I don't think it's supposed to be nice enough next week. It was not nice enough today. But eventually, we are going to get there. So I think that's all we have today. Please, I think that's all. Peace.